You have a particular style. Can you explain the idea and how do you work on that kind of boats?
The style that we are specialized in is timeless yachts that are was classically styling above the water, but very modern underwater, and also with a very modern design development technique. They are very much yachts of the 21st century, but they have a timeless classic styling above water that makes them very special. You can see that in the new yachts that we are doing, that it also starts to become a fusion of classic and modern, also above water. So there are classic styling elements of certain designs that we use in a more modern styling as well. So it's a combination of things. But the main concept actually is to make the yachts timeless. And that means that they don't outdate that quickly. And that means that they keep their value a lot longer than really radical modern designs. Well, you know, when you look at a Rolls Royce or when you look at a Bentley, a lot of people still love these cars also for the styling.
Yeah.
But when you look at the inside, they're totally modern equipment. And I think that's the biggest difference in the new yachts that we are building and designing. You know, all the materials and all the technical installations are very, very much to the 21st century latest developments. We have in our design office philosophy that we do design the whole boat. So we do the exterior styling, the interior styling and the interior design, but also the structural engineering and the complete naval architecture. And so we are a one-stop shop. And the reason that we have done that is that for many owners, especially in big super yachts, the communication level is really difficult when you have a naval architect that's Dutch, you have an interior designer that is British, then you have an interior decorator that is Italian or Swedish. Then you have an owner's representative that is from the United States, and then you have anyway, you understand what I mean. We have a team of 3 to 4 people that are doing interior design, out of which 3 women, and I'm very much involved, and so is my partner in the design office, Ruud Meulemans. He's also very involved, and we try to make interior designs that also have something to do with the exterior of the boat. We're now designing a 222-foot ketch that is under construction at Vettese. And that boat has a huge battery bank that can also drive the propeller electrically, so that you can go in and out of a harbor without emissions. And of course that didn't exist 20 years ago, 10 years ago. We're doing a 45 meter, 148-foot motorboat at Royal Hartford. That is a bit of a fusion styling, I would say. So it's got, or retro, whatever you call it, and it has modern design elements, but also quite a number of classic features and styling details that make the boat timeless again. The design behind me is the boat Blue 2. That is a 59-meter motor yacht. That is an expedition vessel, so to say, ice class, and also with an ice-breaking bow. That is a bit of a combination of, it has the look of a supply boat or a tugboat, but it is definitely a really good-looking yacht. But it's ice class so that the boat can go into Antarctica or in Arctic regions or do the Northwest Passage. And you don't have to have ice class for that, but it's definitely very, very good to have. I've sailed in Antarctica myself on one of our large super yachts, sailing yachts. And I have to say I was one of the few on board when we hit the ice. I thought by myself, if I would have known that this boat would go to Antarctica and go into the ice, I would have done a couple of things different. So, it's always important to be on the safe side, and for vessels that go into those regions, we try to incorporate things so that the vessels are also safe to navigate. In very simple things. When you go into cold climates, you have to have at least one diesel tank that is heated. It's something that we never realized. But when you get into climates where the water is -4 or freezing, and you have integrated hull tanks, you have to be really careful with the fuel because it starts flogging under 0 degrees. So it's little things like that, and the practical experience and also my own experience with these boats helps greatly in the design.
So in any case, you think about innovation also if you are on a classic aesthetic in some ways.
Absolutely, yeah. And these boats are built for owners that sail at the moment, in this time and age. And these boats are going way further places than they used to 25 years ago. Not many vessels went to Antarctica or to the Arctic or to Alaska, for that sake. And there are a lot of adventurers and owners that like to travel and go to places where you can't go by car, or where it's very difficult. And that's one of the really unique things of the super yachts that are being built now. You can go places that are really difficult to go in any other way. Well, the choice of hull construction materials is totally depending on what an owner wants to do with the boat. And you will see boats here that are designed and built in full carbon. And obviously their performance is very high on the agenda. But you will see a lot of boats that we have done in aluminum hull construction. That has definitely a lot of advantages for larger super yachts. And there are boats that want to go into really remote places in icy conditions, even if it's floating ice. Then it's nice to build in steel. And if a boat does want to go to the Northwest Passage, or to areas where the chance that you hit ice really, then you go for an ice class construction. For the J-Class at the moment we have done 3 of them. So we designed the J-Class Lionheart. That was the first one, and the second one was Topaz. And the third one is Svea. They've all 3 been designed in aluminum. And when we started to make the design, we have very much focused on the longitudinal bending of these boats, because the loads are so phenomenal. Originally these boats were designed in steel and built in steel, but in the new ones, in the regulations, it's now acceptable to build in aluminum. That saves quite a bit of weight, which is taken up in the handicap system. But in order to make the boat stiff, it's very important that your longitudinal bending is minimized. And we focused very much on, in the J-Class yachts that we've done, to make them very stiff so that you can have very high headstay loads and runner loads. And that reduces the sag of the head sails, and that improves the upwind performance.